Hi, welcome to another Traveling in Ireland Quick Tips episode where I share one piece of advice to help you make the most of your Ireland vacation. I'm Jody Halsted, Ireland travel advisor and host of the Traveling in Ireland podcast. This is part two of my Travel Smart series, and today we're focusing on how to keep your belongings safe when you're on the move. From rental cars to public transportation, these are the habits and the tools that I use to stay secure without the stress. Different types of transportation come with their own safety considerations and a few small vulnerabilities if you're not paying attention. After years of traveling all over Ireland, I've learned that how you handle your gear when you're on the move matters just as much as where you store it when you're at your hotel. The good news is that you don't need complicated strategies, just a few intentional habits for each situation, and it's going to make a huge difference, both in the safety and security of your items and the confidence that you feel when you're moving from place to place. So let's start with the rental car. When you're renting a car, the thing you want to be mindful of is when you're visiting tourist sites, beaches, walking trails, things like that. Some of these can be remote. And in a lot of cases, you're actually going to see a sign that says, mind your valuables. Don't leave valuables out in the open. And that is the best advice, right? You just don't want to leave out anything that could be seen and, a quick smash and grab and it's gone. So the tips you want to keep in mind when you are driving yourself is don't leave anything visible in the car. And one thing that I know a lot of people don't think about is the cords that you're using to keep devices charged. Does one obviously go to a dash cam? If it does, that is a really good giveaway that you may not be local. So move that cord. Just tuck everything away that might give any inkling that there is more in the car than what people can see. You want to store valuables and luggage in the boot before you arrive, not after you park, because there could be somebody sitting and watching, waiting for you to leave your car. And always avoid advertising that you're a tourist. So don't leave maps or guidebooks or pamphlets, anything like that on the seats or on the dash. A clean, empty looking car would take too much time to search for someone to be quick about breaking in and getting things and getting gone. Next up is public transportation. Now, public transportation in Ireland is safe. It's very, very safe. I have never felt worried or at risk on a bus or a train or anything. So I want to just start with that. But you still want to be cautious in stations and crowded compartments. So when you're packing, you want to treat it the same as when you're packing for a flight. Your most important items, so your identification, your money, your credit cards, jewelry, electronics, medications, those should all remain with you in your personal bag or your carry-on type size. On most buses, you're going to be able to take carry-on bags and personal items on board with you, and checked bags are going to be stowed underneath. Now, when you board the bus, watch where your bags are loaded. If you're super paranoid, take a photo for proof. Obviously, not necessary. But if your bag goes missing, it's good to have that proof that it was there. And know which compartment your bag should come out of when it's time for you to be collecting it. Now, unless the bus is an express bus, which means it has no stops, your bag could be removed for access to other bags. So when you're boarding, if you let the driver or whoever is loading the bags know where you're getting off the bus, they could put your bag back further. And that means it's going to be more secure, may not need to get shifted quite so often. So just to show you what you would be looking at if you wanted to kind of determine your bus route. I'm using the Transport for Ireland website, and I've put in just a simple route Dublin to Galway, leaving on August 25th. After we're going to tell it I want to leave in the morning after 8 a.m. This is going to give me all of the bus journeys from Dublin to Galway. Now, the first is 3 hours and 9 minutes. And this one actually takes you to Dublin Airport, where you then get onto an express bus that has only two stops. It's going direct to Galway, making a stop here, and then at the Galway coach station. So this is a super easy, direct route that isn't going to require you to worry too much about where your bag is and what's going on with it. But if you don't want to go out the to the airport, let's say we are going to leave at almost 2 p.m. that day. This one, 3 hours and 27 minutes, you can see right here has 21 stops. So it is stopping all along the route. And if you're going all the way to Galway, you would want to tell whoever is loading the bags that you are getting off at the final stop. They should put your bag to the very, very back, and it will still be waiting for you right there when you get off at your stop in Galway. Now, on trains, your personal item, especially if it contains money or identification, should remain on your lap or at your feet. You should not be putting it into an overhead bin. If you do store things overhead, I recommend placing the item where you can see it. And usually that's across from you. And I know that that's kind of a taboo thing, which is why I recommend putting it at your feet. I hate having an item over my head where if somebody's coming past me, they can reach up without me really knowing what's above me and, grab it. And like I said, this hasn't happened to me. I've used the trains in Ireland. I've felt very comfortable and very safe, but I'm also not terribly trusting. Now, for bags that need to remain in luggage storage, you can consider a cable lock to thread through the handles and attach to the storage racks. Because I don't keep electronics or valuables in my larger luggage, I don't do this, but I will pre-book a seat with a view of the bag storage so I can keep an eye on my bag. And I'm going to show you Irish Rail to take a look at just what you would be doing if you were booking that. Now, I do have to say, if you are using Irish Rail, watch for these kind of messages at the top. You've got one coming up for the Oasis concert. You're going to probably have one coming up for the football game at the end of August. You're going to have another one for the football game at the end of September. So if you are looking to book any trains, make sure you're aware of what's going on while you're there. So let's just do Dublin, Houston, Galway on the 25th, all day, go. Okay, so we have got all of our options starting at before 6 a.m. You can tell if the train is direct or if there are a lot of stops. So you want to be aware of those things. Are you going to have to switch trains? Are you going to have to grab your bags? And then also you can see that tickets do sell out at certain times. So if you're planning to leave in the morning, you definitely will want to be at least considering or watching the tickets to make sure that you can get the bookings that you want. If you're not quite so particular about what time you leave, you're going to have a little bit more flexibility. Now, no matter what type of transportation you choose, keeping your bag close and your attention up, it does go a long way to keeping your items safe and secure. And finally, a quick tip for taxis. Ireland's taxis are safe and regulated. And if you are using your Uber app, which you can use in Ireland, know that it's calling you a taxi. So you are still on a regulated rate. They don't fluctuate like they do when you're using a ride share, like in the US. So safe and regulated, but there are a few things that you can do to help you avoid mishaps, especially because if you're in a taxi, you may have just gotten off a plane, so you're tired, or you may be flustered because you're on your way to the airport. So you may be not paying as much attention as you normally would. So if you are using an app like Free Now or Uber, you want to confirm the driver and the vehicle before you get in. You don't want to forget your bag or your phone. So before you get out of the vehicle, check the seat. And then finally, if you do have luggage in the boot, wait until it's unloaded before you pay and walk away. Now, every mode of transportation has its quirks, but these simple habits can help keep your trip moving smoothly. In the final part of this series, I'm going to be sharing packing strategies and the items I use to keep myself and my belongings safe. Thanks so much for joining me. Slan for now.